Hi, Jackie here, sharing a layout for A Little Magpie using Simple Stories Fun Time Collection. I'm going to be using the 6x8 pad, as you can see it, a quick flip through here. I've also got, from this collection, the journaling bits and the bits and pieces, the brads, the lovely foam stickers, either brads, and a 12x12 sticker sheet, and I think I've got about 4 or 5 of the pattern papers. So I've got the tag paper. I love these tags papers, which I use quite a few of them, not on this layout, but I do use quite a few of them from this collection. So I'm just showing you the pattern papers here, both sides. Really nice and bright and colourful. Now the photographs I'm going to be using are some I took a couple of weeks ago. Julie Taylor had invited me to celebrate her birthday, so we had a scrapping weekend. She asked a few friends to join her for a long weekend, so we had a lovely time. So of course we had to have some games, and one of them was a pinata. So we'd got the pinata, I got the pinata, filled it with sweets, and we hung it on the door frame and bashed it. Sheena was the winner, she was the final bash, but we did all share the sweets out. So here I am, come back to my layout. So I wanted to use this balloon paper, but I just felt it was a bit too busy as a whole sheet. So what I'm going to do is tear the lower edge, as you can see here, and I also wanted a pop of the orange paper to go underneath. So I think I just trim off about a 3-inch strip, and again I tear the lower edge, so I've got the torn edge of one side. And then I want to add a bit more texture to my page, so using a napkin and some nice water spray, I end up spraying the bottom of the edge. It will come up in a minute, so that I'm able to just slightly roll it back. So I've just used the kitchen towel as a sort of holder, if you will, for the water, so the water doesn't go everywhere. I do end up moving my white cardstock, because even though I did try and leave it under the kitchen towel, it did get wet a bit. But I just moved it up, and by the time I'd finished that, the cardstock was dry. And again, I just do the same for the orange strip. And I'm going to join these two strips together at the bottom, just slightly, and I use my pencil just to slightly help it to the paper to turn around. It's not a big roll, if you will. It's just a little roll up. Sorry, I'm losing my words here. So I'm just going to join those two together at the bottom edge, and then I was going to put it straight down onto my white cardstock, but when I put it on, it just looked like the white cardstock was too blank. So I found in my stash some stamps from El Studio, which are called Make a Wish, and they have some balloon stamps on. So I'm just going to mark on the cardstock where my pattern paper is going to be. Obviously, I don't need to stamp the images underneath the pattern paper, because you won't see it. And I have chosen 4 colours. So I've chosen, initially, I had chosen Shabby Shutters, Twisted Citron, Quiche Flamingo, and Spice Marmalade. But I do not use the Shabby Shutters, and I go back and I get Squeezed Lemonade. So here I am, I'm just stamping it round several places on my cardstock, trying to make sure that I'm above and below the little line that I've marked. And I do have clusters, so I've got a clusters with the orange, pink, green, and then the yellow. I've stamped some of them on the left hand side that come off the cardstock, as you can see. And the ones that are stamped in the middle, and one where I sort of drop the stamp, all gets covered over with pattern paper, so you can't see my mistake. So here I'm using these, what's this one? Twisted Citron. the green one. And all these colours sort of well, they actually do go with the colours on the actual pattern paper. So once all that's done, I will add my background paper back on top. So there I am, where I've just said I've just used the yellow, sorry. So the pattern paper goes on top, so it still looks like it's all one paper, but it's not as I don't have that white continuous border at top and bottom. So again, just using my T-screw ruler. I did use my T-screw ruler this time. Doesn't look like I did, but I did. And add that straight down to the onto the cardstock. And then it was time to put my photographs on. Now my photographs I print at home, and there are 1.75 inch squares, and I had 6 on a 6x4 paper. But then I've cut them down into strips. I have put them onto cardstock, white cardstock, and that's just to give them a bit more support than having the actual flimsiness of the photograph paper. So when I was putting them down, as you could see, they were still getting lost in the busyness of that balloon pattern paper. So I went through my 6x8 paper pad and chose, I did choose 2 of the pattern papers, but I end up just using this green one. So I'm just positioning them now. I just use a small amount of glue, double-sided tape, sorry, just to make sure I'm getting them into the right position. They do slightly overlap each other, but they're not sort of big gaps and things like that. And then I stick them down. I think I stick them down off camera. And then I add 3D foam to the back of this cluster. Or before I do that, I do turn the lower edge and roll that back as well. And then I add 3D foam pads to the back of this photo mat and add that to my layout. Again, using my using my T-screw ruler just to line everything up. And then it was a case of going through my 2 collection packs of the journaling bits and pieces. And I went through that off camera and found several ones that I wanted to use. So you'll see now I'll start by assembling what I'm thinking I'm going to use. I've cut some of the tags off the 12x12 tag sheet, and I'm going to use 2 of those, one at the left hand side and one underneath to add some journaling. But as you can see, I'm going through it, adding I've not stuck anything down yet of the embellishments, and then I realised that I need to put a title on using the foam stickers. And they're quite big, so I got a bit carried away putting all this together, and then I realised I need to stop what I'm doing, which I did off camera, and find what I want to use for my as my title, as the titles on the foam sticker sheet are quite big. So I'm still just messing around here. There's quite a lot of bits and pieces that I put on this stage, but don't appear on the final final layout, sorry. So I'm just putting bits and pieces on. I like these little starburst blasts that I'm going to put at the top. I still use those. I've got the Let's Celebrate tag, and I've got these balloons, the dog balloons that I wanted to use. It doesn't end up being there, and this is where I realised that I need to put a title on. So I've used 2 of the titles on this page. So I've used the one that says Fun and Games and another one that says Together. So the Fun and Games I'm going to put at the bottom. I've just cut it out of the plastic sheet, and it just helps me to rearrange, put it on the paper just so I can see where I want it to go before I actually stick it down. Trying to tidy up a bit as I go. So this is me back. I'm really sorry. So I'm going to go through what I've done. So I've put the foam sticker there that says Together at the top. I've added foam stickers to these. I found those balloons in the die cut pack and I've added foam stickers to them, again to give them dimension. I've also added some word phrase stickers from the 12 by 12 sticker sheet, over the actual photographs. I've used a tag, upside down tag at the bottom so that I can add some journaling. Thank you very much for stopping by and watching my video. Please like and subscribe to our channel. If you've got any comments, please leave them in down below. I will leave links to all products I've used in the description box below. Thank you for stopping by. Till next time.